Heating the oil, heating the oil, heating the oil, heating the oil. Hey everybody, Mikeycat Outdoors here. So what are we doing today? Whew, it is chilly out here. So, I don't know, you guys will probably be seeing this after Thanksgiving. But, happy holidays everybody. And, yeah. I feel like I'm getting a tinge of something here. But, it is cold out. Gonna fry a turkey. My son saw one in the store and I was like, yeah, you know, we can fry that. He's like, really? I haven't done one of these in like a decade. So this will be fun. So let's check it out. Well, there's the bird. It's about a 14-pounder. There's Michael Jackson hiding. I think that's your sister's coat, dude. So
it's a warm coat.
Yeah, I don't deny that. But what do you think about this turkey?
A lot of work for a turkey.
Yeah, that is a lot of work. So we had to get like 3 gallons. I had some others left over too. Probably I got 3.5 gallons of oil in the pot. Trying to get that up to 325, and then did the calculation, 3.5 minutes per pound, so roughly 49 minutes to cook the bird, which is a lot quicker than doing it in the oven. But yeah, it said it was a fresh bird. It's actually, the inside had like some frozen slush in it, so I don't know. Filled this guy up, put the bird in there and filled it with water over the bird, and then marked that level, and then took the bird out and checked the level, and it was at pretty much the maximum fill line in there, which is about where that oil is now. So I was lucky I had just enough. You can see I'm slowly ramping up. A few minutes ago it was 150, now it's in the 200 range. I gotta get this to about 325 and then put that bird in there. So what I'm gonna probably do is I'm gonna get this up to about temperature, and then I'm going to turn that flame off for safety reasons, so that if there is something that boils over or does something funky, there's no live fire there to whoomph, cause an incident. So with anything involving propane or natural gas, safety is always paramount. The first thing I did, I haven't used this thing, like I said, for probably a good decade or something. It's been a while. Always do the bubble spray check. So I got this little spray bottle, and I got some soap in there, and just kind of spray that down before you start it. But you're looking for big bubbles to form, and really about the only place I ever saw any bubbles was around this part here earlier. I saw just a little, but I think it was just from the bubbles of the stuff. But since I've been running it, I haven't had any problems. Knock on wood. But yeah, it's got this little valve here that adjusts the flow rate for the gas going into the burner. And then down here I got the thermocouple button right there, that gold one on top, and then it's got this tiny little dial knob timer, which is kind of stupid because you gotta keep resetting that. Otherwise, what happened earlier is that sucker, ding, went back to 0 and everything turned off. I had this warming up while I was doing the turkey stuff inside the house, and yeah. So yeah, I just got to keep an eye on how long that thing actually stays going, and just make sure every once in a while to just kind of turn that thing, make sure it's still running for a while. But you can turn it off too, so it can go the other way. But like I say, once this oil gets hot enough, I'm going to turn that sucker off, get the flame down, so I don't have any fire or risk, you know, when I put that turkey, which hopefully doesn't have anything frozen, but never know. I got it from the store. Like I said, it was supposed to be fresh. Had some ice crystals inside where some of the guts and stuff were, but I rinsed it out, soaked it in hot water for a while when I was getting that measurement of the volume that I needed in that frying pan there. And yeah, so once I got that sucker up to about there, I was like, yeah, I'll let it sit for a while, and I fiddled with the burner out here for a while. Alright, we're reaching that temperature range, so I'm going to turn this sucker off before it gets too hot. And stick that bird in there very carefully. Well, I carefully lowered that thing in there. It's on a rack, and made sure I got it to where it would sit. And slowly put it down. Once I was getting it close to the end, that's when all that bubbling and boiling started happening. So I'm gonna let that do its thing for just a little bit. So in case there's a bunch of moisture in that bird, hopefully all that stuff will kind of evaporate out in the next couple of minutes. And then I'll eventually turn that flame back on, and I turn that sucker off for the moment. Because you can see, if you drop that in there real fast, and this sucker started bubbling like that, because it wasn't before, that could spill over, hit the flame down below, and whoop, cause a major grease fire. So you can see how violently that sucker is wanting to boil already. Always keep safety in mind. I'll let this do its thing, and like I say, a couple minutes I'll turn that sucker on. Alright, got the burner back on slightly. Now if I turn this knob, I see that sucker's getting a little hotter on the fire. And you gotta just watch that temperature, because I'm about 250-ish right now. And it's boiling pretty good. I want to get that closer to 300, 325 range without overdoing it. Then that guy's got to cook for about 49 minutes. We're about 300-ish. That sucker's boiling pretty good. You laughing or coughing?
Coughing.
Uh-oh. You're gonna catch pneumonia, you better put a hat on, bud.
Probably.
Well, there's a couple of roasting pans. I got a disposable one there on the left and a rather stout one. I don't know if that was a roasting pan or a cake pan or what that was. My wife's grandma had a couple of these old things. I remembered I had them stored out yonder, so I was like, hey, I'll use that. Put the bird in when I'm done. Oh dear Lord, a poor raccoon just ate my son's head off.
Mom, right here.
Coonskin hat? Actual coon? Real coon? Not a fake one? Yeah. To keep you warm? Yep. Yeah, we got that thing down at the Rendezvous back in the summertime. There was a guy selling different hats. He had a coonskin, I think he had fox, he had some other animals, and this one was kind of neat. Definitely pay for it, but it's really good quality. It's got nice linen inside and everything, real nice. But yeah, never mind coonskin hats. I think the history of deep frying turkeys, man, that must go back to like the Pilgrim days. I think Native Americans were out there with a big propane tank and, you know, had their Mazola corn oil and out there frying those birds up, man. Yeah. I bet you that's like Plymouth Rock there, man. I'm just being facetious. But, I don't know. It's probably Larry the Cable Guy or somebody, you know, some rednecks like, hey, man, how can we make this turkey better? Hey, let's deep fry it, you know. It had to be something like that. But, yeah, it definitely cooks a lot quicker frying it than trying to put it in the oven. If you put it in the oven, you're going to be there for several hours. If you deep fry this, you're talking maybe an hour-ish, you know. So you got a little prep work behind it, but with any turkey, you're going to have that. But I'll tell you what, last time I had one of these, it was so juicy. Just, you know, being fried like that, and oh, it was great. Makes the skin all crisp and everything too, and just juicy bird. It's not all dried out, so that's one advantage of it. I'm sure the doctor wouldn't like that. Hey, stop eating fried foods. Well, in this case, this is going to be fried foods. So yeah. But I didn't have any oil around the house except for like a real old one. It was from like 22. Yeah, I used it, and then all the others I bought new, and had one jug downstairs. It was from 2013. I'm like, oh heck no, I ain't using that. I'll use that for lamp oil or something. But yeah, the only bad thing about oil is like, use it in something like this. If you ain't frying with it all the time, you're pretty much dumping it out. There's a little bit of a waste, but there are things, you know, you can burn it in. But yeah, unless you're frying all the time, I don't know. I really don't fry a whole lot, obvious health reasons. But yeah, woohoo! There's it boiling. Got the 325 for sure. Had to back this flame off quite a bit down to where it's pretty yellow now and not too much coming out. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Leave this island on the double. Whew, buddy. Yeah, you can see there. You turn it on or off to adjust the height of that flame on there. And I've been adjusting that little wheel knob down there every so often just to keep this thing going. So they specifically say in the manual, don't leave it unattended. I left it unattended for a few minutes. Oops. But I had to go in, wash a few things, get some stuff, and come back out. So I think that little dial is a safety mechanism too. You know, in case you go out with the buddies and, you know, rednecking around or something, you know. You ain't gonna leave this thing unattended for an hour or two. It's gonna turn itself off within probably 10 minutes. So, yeah. So you just gotta turn that knob every so often, just make sure it keeps that sucker going. Well, get the lid off a little bit. Whew. You can see part of that turkey isn't fully covered anymore. My flash is not turning on. Battery's a little weak on this thing right now, but yeah, it's bubbling pretty good. That's some really dark looking oil now. Woo, boy. So I'll be curious to see how that part that's not covered, if it cooks all the way through or if it's still like raw. I'm gonna let that thing cook probably another 10 minutes just to make sure that it's thoroughly cooked. I know they say 3.5 minutes per pound, but that's 50 minutes roughly. And yeah, for a while there, the oil was only like 250 range or something. So I figure with that time frame and everything, for it to get up to 300, 325, I'm gonna give it a little extra cook time just to make sure that it's cooked. I'd rather it be cooked than undercooked and have to cut it and throw it back on, and yeah. Well, I'd say it looks golden brown. Guess we'll find out with the moment of truth. I'm gonna try to take this bad boy out. I'm gonna put my phone down for a little bit and take it out and try to put it in the pan. I'm gonna turn that burner off first, so that way I make sure there's no splashback or oil drippage hitting the flames and causing a problem. So that'd be like instant lantern. I got my pan down there. I'll try to grab the hook very slowly, carefully. Start to pull this bad boy up. Oh, some friction there from the little rack that it's on, and it's on kind of cattywampus. But I got that burner completely off. Ooh, buddy. Let's see how that bird tastes. Yeah, you can see how much oil I used there. Had a couple of gallons of soybean or vegetable oil, and I had one that was peanut oil, and a tiny one in the back. It was slightly old. It was canola, but it wasn't too bad. Woohoo! That bird looks good. I have to dig into it. That is delicious. So what do you think of the turkey, little helper?
Better than either turkey I had at either Thanksgiving that I went to. So
Yeah.
couldn't be more American though. Fried in oil.
But yeah, it was a very tasty bird. I know the one at my in-laws' house, it was decent, but it was, traditionally cooked in the oven, and daughter went to her boyfriend's house, and her family had turkey too, so she definitely liked this one. So it has a lot of flavor. So does give a little bit of food left over for the weekend. But yeah, my son just happened to find turkey, and I'm like, you can deep fry those things. Like, yeah. So that's what led me down this path. Like I said, I haven't done this since my daughter was just knee-high to a grasshopper. But it's really juicy, really tasty. It's like having fried chicken, except it's turkey. So if you like what you've seen, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, get notified new content when it's available. Hope you all in the U.S. had a happy Thanksgiving, and everybody in other parts of the world had a good day. So, as always, thanks for watching.